What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back at long last with more of the beloved. I do apologize. I had allowed this deep dive to fall off again, but someone asked about it recently and they were saying the next tune is one of interest, so I do apologize, but cheers for the reminder. Cheers to Philip for sharing it in the first place. And the next tune we're going to listen to is a tune called Let It Begin, which feels, a willingness or an acceptance of some process or some event about to unfold, perhaps even an eagerness, not really clear, but ultimately there's not a, please don't let it start, or I'm dreading this. There's again, an acceptance, if not a positive attitude toward whatever is coming. So obviously whatever it is could greatly affect the nature of the story or the snapshot here, but as I said, the sentiment seems to be let's go. So here is the beloved Let It Begin from their 1987 album Where It Is, though once again we're working from the CD version, which came out in 1988. Tune, and I was thinking...
That was excellent, Matt. Best drumming on that one. I'll vote for that one.
a voice filter after the fact. I'm not sure, but that's hilarious. It ends up having one like a little green man sort of sound to it. But yeah, the Sonics there reminded me a bit of the like early Echo and the Bunnymen stuff, where it's like it's a bit synth rock, but it's a bit post punk. It's a bit sort of raw and a bit like, yeah, sort of what's the right word? Again, sort of combining different elements, where it feels like transitional, is I guess the word I'm looking for. It feels like it's not synth pop, certainly. It's, you know, it feels a bit more like moody and artsy. It feels, again, maybe a bit more rock driven. But yeah, it feels like it's drawing on some different influences of 80s music. So again, I realize this is the later stages of the 80s, meaning like comparing them to, say, Echo and the Bunnymen from like 81 or something. It's, you know, there's a bit of a gap there, but ultimately it just had that sound of, you know, mixing a bit of the like new wave, like synth rock flavor, with a bit more of like a moody, artsy type of tune. So interesting though, like a lot of it was instrumental. Obviously it did have like vocals and lyrics, but the last like 2 minutes of the tune I think were instrumental. So an interesting one overall. Happy to get back to the beloved. I do apologize. Inevitably this will keep happening with various deep dives, but as long as I get back to them eventually, like I'm not going anywhere, I promise, you know. For the foreseeable future, and barring any dramatic changes, which, you know, even then I would do my best I could to keep this going. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere. So as long as I remember these deep dives, eventually we'll just keep rolling through them at, you know, whatever irregular pace. But now that they're back on my radar, hopefully we can get through the rest of this album a bit more hastily or tidily. So yeah, let me know what you think of this one sonically, or you know, vocally / lyrically. Though again, it reminded me actually of a Japan tune. You know, there's a number of Japan tunes where there are vocals, there are lyrics, but they cover about like 20% of the tune, and like a little bit before and a lot after it's just instrumental. So this felt sort of in that style, where it wasn't your typical, you know, intro, verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus, verse 3, outro. Like it was, you know, the lyrics and the vocals were condensed to a smaller part of the tune. Either way, nice to get back to this. Let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.